Hello to everyone connecting with us from all around. I'm back with another bang with our favorite, and my personal favorite influencer, Saumya Sindhu. So, before we just kick off to today's topic, that's a very interesting one about influencers. Let me just give you a very short introduction about Saumya. So, Saumya is from Delhi itself, India, and she is doing her master's in marketing from RMIT, and while she is having her master's completed, she also has this part-time, or consider that a full-time gig, of being a digital content creator, or what we call an influencer nowadays, with 65,000 organic followers. So kudos on that, Soumya, and the stage is all yours. Let us just maybe start with, how are you today?
Hi Anjali, I am good. How are you?
All good, all good. So Soumya, just um diving straight to the topic. What is how did you even grab those? Like, were you always interested in social media? And I do understand, being from a millennial or being from that 90s generation, I think I learned what social media was. And for you, being the Gen Zs, was it so natural that you always wanted to become digital content creator, or always knew how to find the hack behind social media?
I don't think so because I don't consider myself as like Gen Z because I still don't know like a lot of things about social media and the trends that have been going on. But yeah, like since I was a little kid, I used to like take up my camera and just talk. I like talking in general, and that sort of I put it in the digital means. So that's how I came across the like social media, and especially in lockdown when everyone was bored, so I actually posted those videos which I have been making for those years.
Oh wow. So I know we the topic is about social media. It's all about what is the concept of virality. How did you really get those numbers? Is it about followers? Is it about engagement? Or is it just about posting on the regular terms? But before we get into it, I would just like to ask about my personal question. And again, it is all the viewers seeing this amazing podcast today. I would encourage asking as many questions, and we would definitely be entertaining it. So, Soumya, how do you really perceive social media? Like, do you really consider social media as a means of um, getting into that professional lines of being influencer, or is it just a small gig for you? Or is it just a way of connecting with friends?
I'll consider it as a way of connecting to people, like meeting new people, like reaching out to more people. And I think just that, I don't like it's an irony that I'm saying that, but I just feel I don't take social media that seriously. Like it's just a part of our lives. And I think after COVID, it has sort of like grown upon us. So yeah, I just see it like as a small part of my life and not letting it overpower me.
I feel like as we really lurch into 2023, where we see how things are getting very delicate, whether it's about the looming recession, the workforce reduction, that has been so much precarious over all businesses. I think one thing that has really picked up into a great pace is the social media, and social media as a whole. So, with I feel a lot of marketing budget, and the agencies are really hiring or are really collaborating with influencers. So, this decade is definitely about social media, I guess, and I don't think it was what it was before. So, did you start making videos, and like when was the time when you started to make videos, and what was the motivation behind it?
Yeah, I agree 100%. Like it's growing at a pace that no one ever imagined. And for me personally, I actually started with YouTube, but then I figured out that it's a bit more tricky and it requires more of my time. And since I'm doing this part time, I might as well switch to a platform that is like more short form based. So that's how I came across Instagram. And I think it was like 2019 when I actually started posting regularly, and then in 2020 reels came, and I think that gave all the creators a really big boost. And I think nowadays, like, Instagram is also, yeah, like promoting all the creators and like motivating them to make more reels with their reels program, or like Meta, like even Meta is like really supporting creators. So I think that's a really good initiative by them.
Wow. So, Soumya, um, so how did you find your niche audience? Like, how do you even come up with the ideas? And when did you realize you had that number of followers? Like, was it a particular video that went viral that you got into or you garnered so many followers? Or was it just a factor of AI or how your video got very relatable or could be very much resonable with the audience that you had?
To be honest, I never like planned it in a certain way. I just put out what, like, just tried to be myself and put out stuff that resonated with me, and eventually I realized that it is relatable to other people as well. So I think one of the very initial videos, I think all the meme pages in back in India, they started posting them, and then that's how I reached my first 5,000 followers. And I think after that, one or two reels actually got good traction, like more than 1 million views. And I think that's how it steadily started growing. Although I was not very consistent, being the lazy me, but yeah, I think it worked out like well for me. I never took that pressure of the numbers, but yeah, I just put what I really enjoy and what's really relatable to me.
I guess that's a very important point that you just mentioned, Soumya, of how you really take social media. Like for you, you did not really, or you were not hard on yourself getting into a specific goal on the number of followers or the kinds of engagement that you're having now. So you were just being very calm. But I feel lots of times when I've seen a lot of influencers or creators that they really feel that social media burnouts, or they really feel how their content is being stolen, it's not new anymore, or it just feels like you are in this mayhem that you are just creating a video for the sake of creating, because or else your followers might switch it. Because I feel now a time where the autonomy and the free will for the followers, so like if you do not post enough and if you see a lot of void in that consistency, you might see a lot of followers jumping from your account to any other account that might be doing the same gig. So how do you really not have that pressure and still remain that calm that you are now?
I think the pressure that you just mentioned about is really like not necessary, but people do take it. As you said, the algorithm is like that. Instagram wants us to post every day, they want us to keep that app open all the time. But I think breaks really help. So, whenever I don't feel like posting, I don't, which actually affects my reach a lot. But and then everyone around me are like, why are you not posting? Your followers are decreasing. But I think I've sort of learned to prioritize my mental health and like other things over social media or reach. So I really like, it's a very conscious decision, and like what I consume and what I post on Instagram. So I think that's the only way you can deal with the pressure. I think
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah,
like
for
set
sure.
reminders and just take it lightly. And
Yeah,
like everyone deserves a break, so like
yeah,
we have breaks on our jobs as well, so why not from social
definitely.
media?
I feel I go on a lot of social media detox, and I'm so sure this might not be true as for you. Like, I don't think you might would want to, like the way we can delete, deactivate our account and come back after a month or after a week. Would it be as easy for a digital content creator as you? Like, would it be possible for you to take a break for a month, just not have or just not use social media and just enjoy yourself? Or do you think there's a level of I wouldn't say responsibility, but there is a level of pressure of not going far from social media for that long?
Yeah, I think I relate to that, and I am guilty of that. I don't think I've taken a break from, like, a proper break from Instagram in the longest time. And even though I feel at times I want to just deactivate my ID, of course I can't do that. So maybe I just try to, maybe uninstall it for 2 days and then come back. But even if I'm not posting, yeah, like I actually like to stay connected with my audience through the stories, at least if I can't do like proper content. But I think that depends person to person. But yeah, it's a very difficult choice, and I think it's just sort of, you have chosen this. So I think that's how you can deal with this. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's.
yeah, yeah. So we have Akash saying hi to you. So,
Hi,
hi
Akash.
Akash. Thanks for really being part of our show. And
Yeah,
to
thanks for
had
joining.
questions for Saumya. So Saumya, like apart from, so while you were obviously you are into social media, and I'm not assuming it, but looking at what my uh, so how we have been cultured or raised in India, do you get those a lot of like how did your family react when you really when they see you all over? They might see you in different internet the Instagram explore, or they might see you somewhere in any of the pages shared. Like, are they proud of you? Like, what are the reactions of those brown parents having their kid constantly on social media? Like, did you had a hard time explaining that you are on social media for good, or were they a little cynical about what you're doing?
I think luckily, touch wood, I did not have a really hard time explaining them what I do. But obviously, it took them a little time to like understand what it exactly is, because I think before COVID, like I was doing my bachelor's, and I remember like when I uploaded my first video, my family was like, okay, like why do you want to do this, or like they, and obviously that my audience is different, and it's not for exactly for my parents age audience. So I think that also mattered at that time. But slowly, eventually, when they saw that I'm actually enjoying it, and I think now they are at a place that they're really happy about it, and they keep showing my videos to their relatives as well, and I'm like, please stop, because it's
Oh my God.
embarrassing.
No, that's so cute. I'm so and we have got Ishan joining us, and I feel you have got a very loyal audience. Like, you have definitely have a niche of loyal audience. So we have a lot of Team Soumya joining us today. And
Hi, hi, Ishan.
so what about that, Soumya? Like, what? How do you really take up to comments? So sometimes you get encouraging audience, or you get encouraging comments about it. Sometimes it could backlash. It could be something very derogatory. Does that really affect you? Like, does that affect how people engage with you, or what degree of engagement you get based on the reels? And if yes, how do you deal with it?
I think again, since I have like chosen this, so there are like always good side and a bad side to it. So I think, yeah, they used like comments like that used to affect me at to some extent earlier, but now I think I just laugh at them. And like recently, if we take an example, like I got my haircut done, so many people like, we are unfollowing you. Why did you do this? But I think that's just weird. And even if they like, I just see it as engagement. Even if they are commenting bad about me, the more they comment, the more people it reaches. So it's all good.
Oh my God, Sam, I feel like not everyone has what it takes to be an influencer. And I think definitely are a gem of a person. Like, for people who do not know, I have known Soumya for a while now. Like, the first day I met her, we met. We met definitely while having the Sunday seva that we usually go for,
Yeah.
and I did not know that she is a social media star. And the kind of way she was conducting herself, she is such a grounded person, and with such a strong headed. Like, I'm so sure that is one of the reason why you have really gotten into the success as what people might not be getting into it. So having that strong headedness, having that warm heart, and still being so grounded, like, I was so shocked after meeting her when I really searched on Instagram, and I did not had any idea if you were such a big
Well,
influencer back.
yeah, well, thanks, Anjali. That's just kind of you, and I get really awkward when someone compliments me. But yeah, thanks.
And we also have Rajma Chawal. So, like, do you love Rajma Chawal? And that's where your audience know where you're coming from.
I live for Rajma Chawal. I love them. Yeah.
So, but apart from that, Soumya, like, so, I do understand how you talk about, oh, you are dealing it well. And have you ever felt or have you had an experience of your original content getting stolen? So, like, things that worked for you. Obviously, I guess with the reels, there's definitely not a law or not a protectivism feature that could either give you credit for originality or do not allow others to imitate you. So do you think there was an instance or there was an incident where you posted something and you saw someone really imitating the same video to get the same numbers or the same level of impressions or reach, whatever you call that?
Yeah, I think that has happened like a lot of times, and usually with the reels that they like that do really well, people like tend to post it. Some of them like tag me and give me the credits, which is fine, but some of them like just put it up without any names, and like that again used to bother me when it was new, but now I'm like, it's fine, it's a nice video, share it. What's the harm? Yeah, but I like tried like if it's possible, I just ask them to maybe tag me or give me the due credits. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, and do you think they do give you credits?
Not all of them actually. Recently, one of my video, I think it was at 4 or 5 million, and I saw someone reposting it on their account, and I think it got like 2 million views. So I was like, that's where people thought that it's my account or my video, and that account getting the traction. And I told her that at least you could have tagged me, but she did not respond to that at all. So yeah, it's again, it's like, what can you do about it? But yeah, Instagram doesn't have that copyright thing as of now. But yeah, that's why.
Yeah. And so so I we have my nanny on the show. My nanny is a great, she
Oh, so
loves
cute.
being on the show and every time she comes in the show, it just, I know, I just keep on blushing and I think I need to come back to the show. So Soumya, apart from really not getting bothered or being distracted or being offline with whatever that happens in social media, what about, do you consider social media as also a means of earning? Like, do you think it is easy to get your financial sorted with being an influencer or with doing collaboration with brands, or have you not thought or reached to that stage?
I think definitely yes. Like at this point, like in 2023, especially 2022, I've seen a lot of my creator friends like they are choosing this full time, and they're actually leaving their jobs for full time content creation, and it's really working out well for them. Personally, for me, I have different priorities, so I don't give as much time to social media as I can, but obviously, yeah, it has helped me in to some extent
Yeah,
financially or indirectly. But yeah, of course, like I see it as a potential income stream, but not full time as of now.
yeah. So, but like, I'm not sure if people do know about it. Like, at least I do not know. Do you think, like, what do you think? So does Meta really pay you for the number of reach that you get or the number of followers once you have it? Like, do you get paid on the basis of the videos or do you get paid in any kind from the platform itself?
No, actually, a lot of people are actually confused about it. So we do not get paid for the number of views or the amount of followers that we have. So that's disheartening, but yeah, that's the truth.
That's
But
such a myth buster because
yeah, it is.
before talking to you, before really putting this question, I literally had assumed that Instagram do pay you based on if you have a high number of followers or high number of target audience or high number of reach, because that obviously if affects Instagram, it really boosts
Yeah.
Instagram. So does that mean that it also contributes to your earnings or your pockets?
I wish. But yeah, I think in the past few years, Instagram has come up with ways to pay creators for the work that they do. So this was this one, I think, some reel contest. So they wanted creators to post regularly. So it was a 3 month reel rewards program wherein they used to give prizes to the creators who have been posting regularly and their reels performed well. So I also, I think, in the month of October, like won that reward. So that's how, that was one incentive that creators have got. Then this was Reels bonus that they recently launched, I think in India and in US, where they used to pay creators only for the month, 1 month of reach. So that was per views that they have. Then they have like other options as well, like badges on Instagram live or subscription. So I think Instagram is trying and helping creators to leverage their content and earn from it. But I think it's going to take time, and it might not be as same as YouTube, given that there's no copyright and there are much more people creating content here. Yeah.
For sure, definitely, Soumya. I think that is that's a kind of pity situation for creators who are doing so much for platform without any financial reward. It's just
Yeah.
about the recognition. It's also about um, it's just about yourself, but without any accepting any consideration or any amount of remuneration compensation from the platform. So how do
Yeah.
you, when you talk about posting it daily, how do you ensure that you have that level of creativity, or how do you come up with new ideas? Do you have your ways of finding new ideas for the reels or for any kinds of postings, or do you just maybe go through whatever that's working for others?
I think given my niche, which is like very low key and relatable to day life, so if I'm like walking, I'm with friends, if I get any idea, I'll just note it down and then figure it out later if I can create it into a reel. And even now in my notes, I have a list, tons of ideas that I have, like which people can relate to, which I can relate to. So I think it comes to me naturally in that sense, because it's more like I observe around and then
Yeah.
like try to figure out in that sense.
Yeah. Wow. And we have Chris, who has beautifully. I love the question. So she asks, "How do we promote body positivity among teenagers via TikTok and Instagram?" And I think it's such a important while under addressed question or topic about body positivism. I feel especially the Gen Zs and a lot of millennials are definitely not confident about how they look. So how do you think this could be ensured about?
I think with Gen Z taking over the social media and like new people coming in, there are a lot of like beauty influencers and fashion influencers in that sense who, like, they do promote body positivity to some extent. But then again, yeah, like like I've seen people confidently putting up content, but then trolls trolling them and then they like take it out. So I think it's important as creators to promote this and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
send out that message
yeah,
of body positivity and
yeah,
because if we, like, the creators are themselves and they are actually comfortable in their own skin, it might influence other people as well. So I think it starts with us and
yeah.
later with the audience.
I think that's such a beautifully answered, Soumya. And I think why I really loved your answer is because I do not think it's anywhere sugar coated or something that's not been done by you. Because every time you have a story put, or every time you have any kinds of social media activity, I just feel like you're just being you, and you're just being a normal, regular international student juggling with work, food, assignments, and there is nothing overly done. Like I have not even seen you using a lots of like, so you really are a transparent influencer. Like you really let audience know the kind of juggle or hassle you're going through. Like even if it's in the in on the basis of rant or what, there is no filters, there is definitely no such glassy life living in Melbourne, but you really show what you're really going through. And on the same note, she does ask about again a very beautiful question by Chris: if the onset of social media taking away the innocence of the children.
I think yes, because I've seen my nephew and my little brothers using social media, and well, it's no good. It's no good because yeah, I think they've been exposed to all kinds of content, and like at a very young age, which is not good at all times. But um, I'm confused of like what
Yeah,
to say about it right
yeah,
now. But
I do
yeah,
that. But yeah, so
I
maybe
think it's
again, exactly. I feel with children, when they're coming from a generation that has literally seen social media. Like I guess Facebook started or was founded in 2004, Instagram in 2010, and then we had Snapchat the very next year. So I guess for millennials, it was a way or an art of learning about them. For Gen
yeah,
Z's, it came very natural to them. Like I don't think they literally had struggle like us, like what to post, when to post, or
yeah,
what caption should be, or what kind of pictures should be posted around. So, but you can't stop that. Like in the adage or in the worlds of social media, and people who are the Gen Zs, or people are getting exposed to social media. I think it's all about right guidance by their guardians or by their parents, but I don't think there is anywhere stopping. I've seen my cousins or my literally again niece and nephews being so active on social media, trying to imitate influencers, being the baby models, or doing a lot of shoots, and they love that. Like they love being on camera. Like even if they not be as active or as confident in person, like they do not definitely like being
yeah,
meeting in person, but they love the social media, and they have their own personality or their own way of dealing with social media. But again,
yeah,
it comes with how you take things into it. Like how do you use social media for your own good? So I feel till the
right.
time they are guarded well, till the time they're supervised or overseen well, social media does have a lot of benefits. But when things are taken off the toll, that's where you need to know when to stop.
Yeah,
And
I think
it is
that's just one of the like biggest downsides of social media, in my opinion.
yeah. And what do you think about this one, Soumya? Because I was definitely good mocked about not being on social media, like on not being on Facebook for the longest time, and not being on Instagram for every time I delete it or deactivate it. So do you think in today's time we have, or we are laughed or mocked about it?
I think yes, to some extent, because, but I think now, if I see my circle or people I have met who are not on Instagram, they actually take pride in it because they've seen people making stories all the time, indulging with their phone all the time. So they actually take pride in it, and they're like, I actually have a life, so what's wrong with that? And I think I really respect people who are not on social media. I wish I could be like you, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, Soumya. So, and what do you think there's a difference between influencing and enforcement? I think, so I mean, if you want to take that question first, you can, or else I will do that.
I think personally for me, I don't really like the word influencer because in today's day and age, everyone's creating content on social media. If we start calling everyone influencer, like other than creators, it's not like it comes with that word comes with a lot of responsibility, and there are all kinds of people watching you. So I think influencing to some extent is enforcement, because if you're watching or consuming content every
Definitely.
single day, all the time, I think that somehow just gets into your mind and you
Yeah.
would like, yeah, that would be feeded.
True, true. I feel for me, influencing or enforcement, it all depends of or whether it's a positive influencing or is it a negative one. Like I have seen a lots of creators really coming out and showing the no filter life, like whether it's about
Yeah,
meditation, whether it's about the need of incursion of exercise or the need of having um, the toxicity out. So I feel influencing, it all depends. Like if it's like a paid influencing, you get to know
yeah,
about that on Instagram, because now it's like what paid sponsored or whatever, that's definitely mentioned. You know it's not an organic influencing. But
right.
I feel a lot of initiatives are definitely been taken around influencing their audience for good. And it depends on influencer to influencer, but I'm just glad that I'm seeing that change compared to what it was earlier, where
Yeah.
influencers were shying away to show their lackings, or they're showing their not so glamorous way of living.
Yeah, I think I totally agree. There are like majority of creators who are actually creating an impact with their content. And yeah, I think I totally agree with you with what you said. I think yeah, because I've seen a lot of pages promoting body positivity, mental health. So there's like more awareness among people regarding these topics, which were not talked about earlier. And I think Gen Z is a very woke generation. So yeah,
Yeah, and I think influencer marketing, obviously, it comes under marketing, and it is obviously it's a very surefire way of expanding your whether it's about topic, whether it's about a product, or it's about anything. But I feel even now, I know a lot of people getting influenced, whether it's on positive things or negative things, but even the audience over here are very getting choosy on what kinds of influencer they want to get into, because influencer that not only match their values, but if they are real or they show themselves real, I feel are overtaking social media rather than just what Kardashians show. Like I don't think we have a lot of people really liking or trying to imitate or be like
yeah,
Kardashians. Like at least huge respect to them, they are legends. But again, you would not want to put yourself into that level of craziness or that level of whatever the word it is.
yeah.
And
I think yeah, there's a shift that we can see, like people switching to that kind of content or choosing to follow those kind of influencers that they resonate with. And it's good that they like as an audience they do have a choice to follow the people they like, because I think our Instagram feeds really are a big, a big take like a chunk of our day. So I think it's good to be conscious about who you follow and like who what kind of content you're consuming.
definitely, Soumya, definitely. So for people who might be like budding content creators, who might be want or who would either be inspired by today's chat show, what do you think would the lesson be from your end, or what would mistakes or things that you would want them to avoid when they are starting their journey or have already started their journey of being a creator?
So firstly, I'm not in a place to advise someone regarding this. I don't have my things sorted. But yeah, I think few things that helped me are maybe posting consistently, and I think just being yourself and not taking social media too seriously, because I've seen people obsessing over reach and followers after they have posted like what 4 videos. So I think just enjoy the process rather than being obsessed with the results.
Yeah. And with results, did you mean something like the numbers
The
or
numbers, yeah. I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that's what everyone expects when they hear social media, yeah.
True, true, true. Definitely, definitely. So, Soumya, I know it's been what, just 2 years of journey on Instagram platform, and the kind of growth or the kind of graph that we have seen, it is definitely miraculous. It definitely is magical seeing how you have grown, even coming from India. So you have audience from India, but when you also came to Melbourne, did you had this cultural shift, or did you kept your reels or audience based on just South Asian? Or once you came to Melbourne, you had literally transformed your strategy based on how does it look like to Melbourneites, or how does it look like to people in Australia?
I think I kept it more the way it was before, and mainly for the Indian audience, because I usually post in Hindi, or they're usually more relatable to Indians. So after I came here, but I think Instagram location also matters a lot. So since my account was now based in Australia, even though there was a small percentage in my demographics watching my content in Australia, but I have seen people around me, like most of them have seen my 1 or 2 videos. So I think that's just how algorithm works. So I actually try to maybe resonate more with the international students or
Mm,
people who
mm.
have migrated here. So I think I'll be focusing on that in the coming months as well, and I'll try to take on that, but not particularly people who are from Australia, because I don't really resonate with, because there's a cultural difference, obviously. So there might be things that I would not be able to cover. So I think it's better if I
Yeah,
put
yeah,
out
yeah.
things from
Sure.
my perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, true. And again, there is no game about it, and there is no there, and as how more cool person you are, there is no pressure of luring all kinds of audience. And I'm so sure the team or the audience that you already have are such a solid, strong, and people that we have seen in the podcast, in the chat show itself. So I'm so sure you're definitely strengthening it further, taking the same South Asian audience or international students. And I'm so sure we would be learning a lot from you. So, as we are at the end of our beautiful chat show, Soumya, do you have any last words before I really talk about how thankful and grateful I am for you being here and talking so honestly. And I do not think of any other creator or influencer talking in such a transparent way and really bringing your heart and soul to the podcast. So thank you again for being with us. And if you have any hard last words for us, go ahead.
I think I'll do that first, and I'd like to thank you actually for having me here and letting me talk about content and things that really matter to me. So, yeah, it was a pleasure being here, and thank you. And thank you, everyone who joined as well.
Yeah, thank you so much for everyone who did not even engage but also saw our amazing chat show. Thank you for everyone who asked those questions. And thank you for, again, Saleha and Saleha at the back end trying to get all the technical things sorted out. It was amazing seeing you, Soumya, and we hope to really see you a lot in Instagram Reels and a much more onwards and upwards growth to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anjali. Thank you. It was great talking to you.